This episode is made possible by New Masters Academy, the world's absolute #1 online art school in the entire planet. Click the link down below for a free 7-day trial. Thank you, New Masters Academy. Thank you. I am in your mind. I am in your... I like that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Honey and Absinthe After Hours Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Vincent, a background designer for the Hollywood animation industry.
And I'm Janet, the ex-Disney artist turned independent creator, and this is a podcast about all things art, business, and whatever we feel like.
Now today, everybody, we're going to talk about what are you willing to do for success?
But before we get into it, make sure to smash, jingle, touch, tickle all our bells and buttons, please and thank you.
Oh, you look so good. You look absolutely fantastic.
Great.
Oh, it's fall. Everyone's going back to school, you know?
Yep.
Hope that's going well for some of you, you know?
I hate school.
I am so glad I don't have to go to school anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, after you graduate school, it's a whole new can of worms.
Yeah, and then you wish you didn't have school.
Then you just wish you could just take me back.
Yeah,
anything. Anyway, today we're going to talk about what are you willing to do for success.
Yes.
And why did we come up with this topic, Janet Chan?
Because we were at one of our favorite food places where we saw someone we knew.
Yes, like every one of these, most of these podcasts, we start off with a story.
Yeah.
We were going out over the weekend, and we went to one of our favorite food places, and we saw someone pretty big in the industry.
I mean, I wouldn't say he is.
I doubt they recognized us because, you know, we're such small fry fucks. So, but we noticed this person who, like, you say he's pretty. You don't think he's big?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I think he thinks he's big.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that a better assessment?
Yes.
Okay. So this person who's big was surrounded by a bunch of, you know, I guess, I'm not sure if they're peers or just people who look up to this person, I suppose. And as I was waiting for my food, I was overhearing this person pontificate about privilege and about his upbringing and about if only blah, 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 went through what I went through, all this stuff. And then I could feel the swoons and adornment of the people around this person. And then as I was waiting for my food, overhearing this conversation, I thought to myself, you know, this is the kind of bullshit I wanted about, like, you know, when I first started this animation, you know, career business thing. So I looked at that. I was like just quietly observing everything, thinking like, you know, I'm at this point where like from where I'm standing, I don't know why I ever wanted that. So I thought, would I trade the things that I know I have for that, which is the thing that I desired a long time, like, you know, like when I first started, like I wanted people, I wanted to eventually teach and have all these little subjects look up to me and talk about whatever bullshit and feel like I'm important, feel like I'm actually doing something worthwhile, and feel like I'm surrounded by people who actually like me, you know? And I thought, you know what? Would I trade everything I have, which is like you and the people I grew up with that I really like, and Mom Cat and Biscuit and all these things, and like not even things like this, like what I would call just our home is a creative playground.
Yes.
There is a place to do anything creative that you could imagine. There's a corner of this home. We've made it that way. Our kitchen is barely even a kitchen. It's just full of places to do ridiculous creative stuff. This is what our home is like. And would I trade that, you know, for, you know, what I would imagine is like, you know, going out with coworkers and schmoozing and like figuring out how to get into this up and coming production that I'm like, ooh, I want to be a part of that, and kind of figuring out how to snake my way into that, or just being just like the life that I imagined that like I wanted to have, the, you know, the 100K follower, like with the prestigious studio in the bio, and then the blue check mark, and all of the adornment of my peers who also have 100K followers and tell me my work is so amazing, so fresh and new, and so and so. Do I still want that? Do I still value that? And I'm like, no, I don't think I do at all anymore. In fact, I don't even know why I even value that in the first place.
Yeah. Now that you're an adult.
Yeah, now that I'm an adult, that like my deepest pleasures in life are to like just have a good time with you. That's as good as it like that is that is like some of the best times lately. Yeah. But like I look at that and I'm like, this is how this person's spending his time. And I'm going like, holy shit, I'm a really, really lucky guy. That's like that's true. Oh. Maybe. I'm a really, really lucky guy.
I think you are too. So yeah, you were standing in line. I was at like a different restaurant.
And I got tired of standing in line, so like I was like, okay, you stand in line.
Yeah. Because we were trying to get food and dessert at the same time.
Yeah, so we're that efficient. Yeah. We don't like spending time outside. It's just like we do as in like for our personal enjoyment, but like being around people, which like, this place was kind of full of at the time.
Yeah.
Just wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
But I was like waiting for our dessert, and I was like wondering what was taking you so long, and then I texted you, and you were like, "Oh my god, just can we please switch places?" And then I was like, what's wrong? And then you were telling me all of this, and I didn't really believe you. Like, how bad could it be? It's probably just like people hanging out together, whatever. And then so we switched places. I started waiting in line at the other restaurant. You were waiting for like dessert or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I witnessed it for myself.
What did you witness? Was I exaggerating?
No. So to me, it brought back a lot of memories.
Memories of what?
Of when you see these circle of friends, they're rarely like genuinely friends.
No.
Yeah, and it looks like they are if you have nothing to do with them. But me having been in one of these groups before, because like you kind of have to participate in these things in order to like break in.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you move here, you like smooze with other people, you take classes, you do all the things, and you make friends, and then you go out with your quote unquote friends, and you sketch together, and you go to the zoos together. Like that's what you do, but it's not like you're very close, so everyone's having this very
and everyone is very competitive with each other.
Yeah.
So it's like it's this strange feeling of like I want like you're my friend, but you want to ruin me.
Yeah. Or you're just constantly judging each other.
Yeah.
And like sizing each other up.
But it's not like the real friends that you had growing up. Or,
yeah,
or
just laughing,
like laughing and like being able to like share whatever.
Yeah. And those type of things, like everyone's having these shallow conversations typically, and things. It's like. People have conversations about like, oh, I can't believe you can draw in public. I'm too insecure to draw in public. But then it's like a weird, kind of like one of those things people do in like on like Facebook, let's say, where they're like, I'm so ugly, and then like everyone's, oh no, honey, you're like beautiful, and then like it's that, not like genuinely like sharing some deep insecurity or something. So, having been a part of those type of get-togethers, it was very much that, except there was one big difference. Usually in these groups, you can kind of see the hierarchy of people. Usually there's the person that's already in the industry, and they're like treated a little different. They're like, they walk around with a little bit more confidence.
Oh, my liege.
Yeah.
My liege. Oh, I bow before your presence. My liege. My liege.
They always talk about
pardon my germs and my peasant clothing. I'm sorry, my liege. That type of stuff.
Yeah. And they're always talking about like, oh, in my experience in the industry, oh, this happens, and all that stuff. And then there's like the like closer friends to that person, so like they're like the next rung on the hierarchy where they're like, oh, maybe they're not in yet, but they're like friends with the guy who's in, so then they're like they get some like residual, I don't know, status or something by being friends with them, but also like they're really kissing up to this person, typically, the like PC way of saying it, and then there are like the people at the lowest rung are usually people who like barely know this person. They like heard of this sketch
and you can
group.
feel it from a mile away. They're the most quiet,
And
the most
like,
reserved,
yeah,
the
at
most
the end
like
of the
at the end of the
table,
table, doing the most stuff outside of the table.
Yeah. And
Probably getting everybody stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's their only contribution. You need napkins?
Yeah.
You got spoons?
They
Okay, I could get the spoons.
They're
Then will you give me a job at Disney? Will you give me a job at Disney if you give me some napkins?
Yeah.
I'll ask for some salt and soy sauce.
Yeah. They
What
like they're typically younger than everyone else in the group, so a lot of the times they either look like students of the person or people just still in school or just something like that. They typically heard of this sketch group or this gathering from someone else, and they're listening. They're not talking. They're if you're observant, they're observing the person, the leader of the pack, and they're just like quietly just like listening to their stories about. And they're very, very important, knowledgeable stories about being in the industry. I saw all that.
Yeah.
All of that, and it particularly bothers me when I see the younger people, because they're so adoring, so patient, and usually
so willing.
Yeah. And kind of shy, and again, they're usually like getting utensils or getting napkins for everyone, and it's like, man, that's gross. That was really just...
That is the life you left, yes.
Yes. And seeing all of that, having been a part of something like that before, and like, it has been a while. It's been like almost 2 years, and I was like, huh? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. This is awful. This is everything you said it was, and more, except I can see it with my own eyes.
Now, if this were like a let's I don't know what the hell this was.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like teacher student or family friends. Didn't feel like family and friends.
Yeah.
It felt far too professional and too uptight to be family friends. But I was thinking like, okay, let's say they're actually trying to be productive. Let's say like just finish like a drawing workshop.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I think like people coming together and drawing is fine. But like the attitude and what ensues after, it's not like after somebody plays basketball with each other or they get pizza or it's not like, everyone goes and plays Super Smash Brothers, even though they're competing with each other. It's not like, when we go to Chick-fil-A after, we hate each other.
Yeah.
Or there's this weird animosity or this weird like not stepping on each other's toes or hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's just, good times.
Yeah.
But like there's this different feeling when you feel like you feel industry people are near and you go, I think an industry person is here somewhere. Yeah. And then you just feel the presence of this industry person.
It's just like, oh my God.
It's like clenched butthole kind of feeling. Just like, oh, there's something wrong. And then you see it and it's just like, oh, that's the source.
Yeah. I feel like, that's
from.
why I felt the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what... like, we had this whole conversation after, we got our food. And you were telling me, like, that was me in another life. If I had never met you.
Life. Yeah, if I never met you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, probably partnerless, just like, you know, doing what I could to like see what chances I could get
the poontang.
to get the poontang. And like another thing too, I'm like, let's get into that. Let's open it with another story. So I was in college, right? And then I would listen. I had like a dose of like all sorts of people at the time that I would listen to. I'd listen to Chris Oatley. I'd listen to Feng Zhu. I'd listen to Scott Robertson. Had a channel, and Noah Bradley had a channel, and Noah Bradley was like talking about some bullshit and about art and stuff, doing like a Q&A, I think, on one of his, you know, shows or whatever. And like, I will never forget this. Someone asked him, like, have you ever used being an artist to like, I'm paraphrasing here, get the poontang? And then like Noah Bradley, like super like unapologetically goes like, who doesn't? Of course I like not, he said something, I remember a sentiment of like, I'm not gonna like overtly answer this question, but like implying,
like, what do you think?
Like, what do you think? Yeah. And then I immediately go like, this dude fucking sucks. Like, this dude was like, my God. I remember telling this to my friends at Art Center. I remember telling them like, telling someone that you're an artist doesn't quite have the weight as telling someone that you play piano, that you sing, that you act, that you that you even write poetry. Some people really like fall for that, the romanticism of that. But like someone that, like, I love drawing and I love art, but like it sucks that it's so undermined and undervalued in society. But like that's just what it is. You know, you see it, you either see and appreciate it, or you don't. And I was just like, what the fuck am I talking about here?
Noah Bradley.
Oh yeah, Noah Bradley. That's right. So he was like saying all this stuff, and oh, that's right. What I was telling my friends in college, I told them like, and especially I was like really hardcore trying to date at that time. I told them like, I can't ever tell somebody I'm an artist and expect like a woman to go,
like sploosh.
Ooh. Yeah, no, because like that's not that cool. like what? You fucking like sit at your desk for fucking 10 hours and you scribble all by yourself. It's not quite like. It doesn't have that weight as like the guitarist who writes like a love song.
Tell me more.
Like the fucking like future John Mayer fucking writing a love song in his bedroom with just a guitar. Like that is like, man, even I'm getting like a little woo, like a little like hot and heavy. But then like when he said like, of course, and like to bring it back home, I'm thinking like there are so many people from our pretty prestigious school who like use the fact that they went to our school to get the poontang, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like you're gonna fucking it's not like you go to Harvard or Princeton or are these fucking like USC or whatever, like you go to Art Center. like who like I don't understand it, like in what romantic world that you live in where people like think that's like really sexy. Like I just described like John Mayer in his Berkeley bedroom writing like I don't know, No Such Thing or something. That is like making me a little sweaty right now. But like going art, and then like to a deeper degree to go and say like, oh, I work at DreamWorks. Yeah. And then like to say that, like I can only imagine, I hope to God this has never happened. I hope nobody has ever, no dude, because only a fucking dumbass dude would do this. No dude would go, like I hope a dude hasn't went to a club and like kind of like chatted up a girl and eventually inserted, you know, I work at DreamWorks, right? Yeah,
I'm sure it has.
You know, I work at DreamWorks.
I'm sure it has.
And like there's like free lunch and I get to see like the newest movies.
I can take you to a rap party tomorrow.
I could take you to a rap party tomorrow.
I'm sure it has happened.
I just don't want to believe, because that's so weak. That's like, okay. So like I'm really into, like I've expressed before, right? I'm really into dating, and I've always thought like opening, like let's say like you're at a school dance or like you're at a club or whatever, and you're opening with something like, here's where I work, just so you can like value yourself a little bit higher in the food chain, so that potentially a woman or a man, whatever you're into, will like, you know, more easily slide into your DMs, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, honk, honk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've always thought that to be cheap and weak. Because I've always been about, you have to use your wit and your wiles and your charm and you have and stories and you have to be prepared. Like, you have to take this seriously. You have to listen. You know, all this shit that you have to care about when you're like really want to get good at dating. And then what? You're just gonna fucking say, I work at DreamWorks. And you expect women to just like fall on your lap like an Old Spice commercial. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, okay, let's say like so let's say you do find somebody who like, you say, I work at Disney, and you know, can go to like Disneyland like that. Like, you want to go Disneyland with me tomorrow? Like, you know, you use that to like get dates and, you know, to hook up and all that stuff. Is that like, I don't know, man. Is that like really the type of like LTR type of like hook, you know? Or is that like is that hit and quit it type of shit? Is that hit and quit type of shit?
Oh my god.
Because like, I think a real wifey would be like would care more about like who you are as a person rather than like what you're willing to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends. Like, that's the thing. It's what do you value in a relationship? You want someone to worship the ground you walk on every single day, I guess?
That's true. I guess people don't like value like people who challenge you and you know, love you for your despite your flaws and all that stuff.
They love you because you're their god or something.
Yeah.
They're the breadwinners. They're the, I don't know. They
can take me to Disneyland
whenever
I want.
Whenever I think about that, I'm like, man, the minute you lose your job, though, they're gonna leave you.
That's what I was thinking too. I was just like, this is all so fleeting.
Yeah.
Eventually, it comes back down to your personality. It's like there was like, I used to get super mad at this dude who would like date this girl who I had a crush on when I was like 14, and he was like 3 years older. He was like a sophomore in high school, and she was like an 8th grader. And I was like thinking like, that's so fucking weak, dude. You're like in high school. Can't you like go to school dance? Do you really have to go to your hometown school and then like fucking date somebody in my class? I thought it was so infuriating. And like, every time I caught like that instance of weak men boosting themselves up by like, oh, here's where I work, or here's where I go to school, I just throw up in my mouth a little bit, and I go like, wow, you suck. You're like one of those. You're one of those. It
for sure works. To me, I find it really funny because, like, I can understand if you're like, I work in the financial district, because then, like, you know, women care about that stuff.
Yeah, come on. Like, I'm a dentist, I'm a doctor. I don't know. It's just like, oh, wow, to me, accreditation.
Even that, like, I kind of get it. Some people want money.
I think most people value, like, oh, you did something that required a lot of hard work. Yeah. Like, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, or whatever. But then, like,
when someone's like, I work at Disney, I immediately am like, the kind of person that would, like, that's your standard. The kind of person that would want, you're basically just saying, I'm a cartoonist. I'm an artist. I draw cartoons for a living.
Well, bang, okay.
Like, that sounds great if you're also like another artist, but think of it as someone who's not into cartoons. Like, you're just like, oh, you draw kids cartoons, cool, yes. Like, it's not it's not that great. So I think it's a really, really weak flex that people don't realize.
Yes, that's what
it is. Kind of a weak flex.
It's a weak flex.
But you know, a lot of this stuff, when it brought me PTSD, witnessing it again, and I was like, I wonder if he thinks he's happy, because me having left and then, you know, in such a public way, I lost a lot of friends But I'm not that upset about it, because I guess it's wrong to call them friends because they were never friends to begin with. Because again, these are the people I thought were my friends. If I were to replace him with me, these were the people I would hang out with. I would do the exact same things as he would, and I genuinely thought we had some kind of deeper relationship. We went to college together. We've worked together for X amount of years or whatever. And I quickly realized that, we were never friends. If, you're avoiding having lunch with me, if you don't want to be associated with me anymore, what have I done? Really, what have I done? Am I going to be a threat to your career? No. Or, that I realized that, oh, you're not friends. We're not friends. None of us are friends. We're co-workers. We're not friends. We went to school together. Maybe we had great times together, but you've changed. I'm the one who left, and I'm I don't want that anymore. You have changed. And I was thinking that. I was does he genuinely believe that these people like and care for him? Does he genuinely believe that he's somehow found success because he's surrounded by a bunch of yes men? And I was just who literally would never dare to even contradict you, not to even have a normal conversation with you. They're just gonna they're literally the people who I thought were my friends, who are not my friends. I realized they were using me. We were that's what everyone assumed this relationship was. Everyone in that circle he was in. What do you think they're doing? You think if he wasn't the person he is, that they would be there? No. In a heartbeat, they'd be somewhere else. They're the minute that any one of them gets in, you think they're gonna hang out with like this anymore? Usually they'll form their own little idolization group. Yeah. And I was they'll drop you in a heartbeat. They're using you. They're using you either to get secondhand status.
Yeah, but it goes both ways. He's using them for attention, for ego boost, for just flexing, for feeling like he's doing something important, probably.
And I was kind of but is that success? Is that happiness? Is that a meaningful life? I never liked that. I said, I was part of these type of things. It's kind of just a thing you have to do to get in. And then, but also, we've told this story before, that when we were recently broken to the industry, we got our shiny new little Disney badges, or DreamWorks badges, whatever. And, we wanted to go to the Art Center grad show. You have your little gallery graduation wall. You work so hard on everything. You get all these people from these studios. They're coming, potentially to hire. I'm not. They're just there to look. I don't actually know why they're there for free food. We decided to go with our fancy new things to show off. Truly,
I was wearing my studio regalia.
Yeah, we were wearing all the things that you wear. The hoodie that says Disney on it, and a hat that says whatever on it. The badge hanging from your belt loop, and we thought it was gonna be great. This is everything we wanted, right? We worked so hard. We graduated college. We got these fancy jobs.
And now we're the people who's coming to visit.
Now we're the guys. We're the people.
It's we're the ones in Naruto wearing the green vest jacket now.
Yeah. So we show up, And it happens the way I remember it happening. That like when you're that desperate, when you're graduating, you're scared, you're like looking up at these people who've made it, who graduated as well, hopefully that like, you know, if you be stuck up to them enough that like they'll give you a job, they'll remember you, they'll just at least share some kind of advice that will magically be the one thing that helps you get in. And it happens like that, and by the end of it, I felt gross. I felt like, I don't know, it's disgusting what we just did. Like, it didn't feel good to have our egos stroked artificially like that.
And then to see fear.
Yeah.
Nothing but fear.
Yeah.
And remembering the fear, because we felt that fear a while back too.
But also, you know, seeing our coworkers / classmates were also
eating cheese, schmoozing,
also
talking,
having a grand old time, and like, you know, we're
deck to the nines in their regalia.
Oh yeah, just like we were, and you know, we are actually not very social people in that regard. Like, we don't look physically like we're having a good time. I don't think we're like bearing with it, honestly, whenever we're in situations like these. And I remember thinking like there's a difference between me and our classmates. They're having like the time of their life doing this, like, I guess getting the adoration that they work so hard for. And is there a problem with me? The fact that like this feels not good. This feels bad. This feels gross and disgusting. I'm gonna go home and take a shower right now, and then we never did that ever again.
No, we went to grad shows a couple more times, but we just wore
like
t-shirt and
jeans.
jeans.
Like we were just another students or something.
Yeah.
And you know, it made me think. Like really hard. This whole like, it reminded me of all of that. Seeing this guy doing that, and you know, I had been reading this book called 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and it sounds like a typical business habit book, but it's actually a oddly very philosophical book about like, he talks about success doesn't necessarily bring you happiness, because what is your definition of success? And he talks about how there are a lot of people chasing, in quotes, success for all the wrong reasons. For some people who are very career motivated, success to them means getting that next promotion. There's no like end to that. It's like, oh, I got a promotion, I got some semblance of like this dopamine hit, and then it's gone. And then you go like, if you're career motivated, I need that next promotion, so I need to climb that ladder a little higher. For other things, it could be money. When I reach X amount of dollars, I will be successful. But then, you know, you hear all the time people reach that X amount of dollars and they're miserable. And they don't understand, so they just keep trying to
set another goal.
Yeah. And some people it's vanity. Some people, they get lots of plastic surgery, or they think like, if I look a certain way, if I own a certain amount, this kind like brand name clothing or whatever, then I will finally reach some level of happiness, because people will adore me. They will think I'm beautiful. They think I'm worth something or whatever. And he, in a chapter, he lists out every single one of these things, and he lists out, you know, what he's mentored and helped a lot of CEOs and a lot of giant businesses build really good companies. And he's like, every single time this always happens. They search for more of the thing that they think will bring them happiness and success, and it just doesn't come. And the only people he's ever witnessed have attained true success, if it wasn't like an external thing that gave it to them. It was always internal. They fulfilled some kind of deep personal purpose, or which is why like it's not happiness that comes once you've reached a goal. It's just by doing your purpose, you are happy. So that means you are happy every day. You are happy just existing because you're living a purposeful life compared to someone who is trying to attain something that the external world can give to you. I have been listening to Work Less, Make More by James Stromenko, and it is a fantastic book. If you do not already have an Audible trial subscription, head over to audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe Podcast, where you'll get 1 free audiobook or 2 free Audible original audiobooks. That's 3 audiobooks in total. That's audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe Podcast. And we were having this interesting conversation this morning about how, you know, the idea that like what's worse, what's more evil, power or money? And because this is like a conversation that like is so contrived, and it seems like everyone always thinks money
is the root of all evil.
Yeah. That's like what we're sold a lot of times. And like I remember when I was younger, it's something I believed in.
Me too. But then you get a little bit older, it's just like, oh no, money is just the measurement of power, especially for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's how they measure power. Yeah. It's the pursuit of power, I think, is the root of all evil.
Yeah, I think so too. And you had this really neat way of saying it, very short and concise.
I did?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Will you say it for me? You said that you think power is the most evil compared to money because even people with no money can do bad things.
Oh, that's right. Even with no money, even people with no money do bad things.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, like if you can think of all the reasons why people could do a bad thing to another person that doesn't involve money, what does it usually involve? Power over somebody else.
Yeah. Just trying to basically subject someone else with your power. And I agree. I think especially as I've grown up that like money is just a tool. It's a tool for good, it's a tool for bad, it's a tool for people, and people are good and bad. And people come in all
people want purpose,
different.
People want power.
Yeah.
You know.
And I genuinely think that like people who are like the thing that they think is like brings them success is the people who think power is that. They're like the people I dislike the most, let's say, because when I just witnessed this, I was like, that's all this. It's not like, do you think money brings this guy as much happiness as this one occasion? I'm not sure. Like, there are a lot of other things people can do for money in the world that's like easier than working in the industry, developing the skill to work in the industry. And I was just like, no, I genuinely think that like, because like the worst crimes in the entire world have nothing to do with money. Like morally, it has everything to do with power. And even things that aren't crime, like things that aren't illegal, even things like usually it's not that someone wants your money that makes it evil. It's that like they're trying to like fuck you.
They're trying to fuck you.
Yeah.
Money is a beautiful song. I think Money is a song. Like my favorite moment in Money. You don't know the song. You know this. You know the song.
I don't know the song.
Money, get away.
No.
Oh God. Well, yes, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. My favorite moment in Money is when the third solo, the third part of the solo comes in, and then he goes like, oh, this is so good. The way he makes his guitar squeal so good. But like every time I listen to that song, I think like I don't agree with the song at all. Everything that he asserts and his observations are like, I can see why you see and you can assert these things. They're things that I believed into when I was younger. But as I got older, I see violence, and I see the people hurting other people for reasons that are just not even money.
Yeah.
not even money. Just like cruelty, and just because they like the thrill of asserting themselves over other people, that type of thing. And I would think like, man, this song, like I understand, but I don't agree with the song. I mean, like I'm the type of person that can enjoy a piece of art even though I don't agree with it. I still listen to Rage Against the Machine.
Yes.
Even though I think it's cringy as
I relate to the rage.
So the idea that a lot of people have that like, you know, it's the pursuit of money and like it's wealth and all this stuff that's like ruining the world. Like, no, man, not even close. No. It's a bunch of assholes who like being the assholes in charge. Yeah. That's what this is.
And, you know, I thought like, who am I to say what brings this guy happiness or whatever? Who am I? Because I don't know. Maybe he is genuinely happy. Maybe these people are genuinely happy to like you said, like this is the dance. This is the thing. Like there's an exchange happening here between like you read between the lines. I couldn't when I was participating in that type of stuff because I genuinely thought we were friends, and now I'm like, I don't know if they knew that this was the dance we were doing, but I sure didn't. And I feel like if they do, if all these people are knowingly doing this, and because of like this is an exchange here. I am doing this to get a job. I am doing this to get status. I am doing like you give up some to get some. Yeah. You I don't know, you give up some of your dignity. You give up some of, I don't know, your time. You whatever it is. Maybe they think it's worth it if that is their idea of success. And for me, I think our idea of success is really different now. When we could like kind of just laugh at it and just like, you know, just have this conversation. We're like, not for us. Maybe for him, not for us. Yeah. Our idea of success is just so different now. It has more to do with just freedom. Like I think, in my opinion, success is when I am free to do whatever I want, and that's it. And what I'm willing to give up for this success is status. I'm willing to be mocked and bullied. I'm willing to never be famous. I'm willing to be broke. I'm willing to move to the middle of nowhere if it means that is how cheaply I have to live in order to exist while doing that. But am I willing to give all these things up for freedom to do what I want? Yes, 100%. If I never get all those, if I am mocked and bullied for the rest of my life, if I never get any kind of monetary or
social recognition,
fame or whatever out of it, that's fine by me, because I think I would have died happy having done what I wanted to do for my entire life or most of my life. And if that's what I have to trade, then so be it. That is what I'm willing to do for success and happiness. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, like I said, at a time it wasn't. At a time it was so surreal looking at that weekend. I was thinking like, whoa, this is like everything I wanted. In fact, if I were 5 years younger, I would have schemed a way to insert myself into this group somehow. Mm-hmm. You know, to schmooze up and somehow, you know, I would be like, oh my God, is that okay, I'm going to figure out how to, you know, insert and now I'm like, oh, wow. I'm just looking at this going like, I'm looking at the things that I prioritized before and I go like, oh, that's not what I care about anymore. And it really made me think like, I'm so thankful for everything that I have and everything that I value, because it's something that no one can take away from me. Yeah. And that will never disappear.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, I hope that whatever other people are doing in sacrifice to get what they want, I hope it's worth it.
Yeah, I hope you sleep well at night. Yeah. I hope it doesn't bite you in the ass. I hope, yeah. Well, I hope for the best for you.
I hope on your deathbed, it would have been
worth it. Yeah. Everything is worth it.
Our recommendation for this episode of the podcast is Last Night in Soho.
The trailer for Last Night. It's not out yet.
Yes.
And we're not saying you can watch it yet, but the trailer is out. It is our most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah.
We're calling it.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw it, we didn't even know who was directing it.
Yeah, we
the
just
first,
was like, oh.
Yeah, the first half of the trailer where we don't know, they don't know who made this. Yeah. We were like, and it's funny too because we watched this after the Matrix trailer, yeah. And then we were kind of a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm a lot more enthusiastic and hopeful. I really like this world a lot.
You're more nostalgic than I am.
Like so they got me in that like Force Awakens kind of way.
Yeah.
Then like, oh wow, so like what are they gonna so what does everybody like the simulation now?
I was like, Force Awakens happened. This is the next Force Awakens, you know that, right? And you're like, no, they won't do that. I'm like, but they did do that. They did do that to the Force. Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, but like so this movie Last Night in Soho is like kind of very similar in a very dreamy other. It's like, you know, there's different existences happening at the same time. It's very, very sort of like a similar kind of vibe as The Matrix. But like this movie was like so fucking sick. Yeah. like the idea of like going back to like the 60s and romanticizing that time, and it opens like, you know, it's this glamorous thing where like almost Cinderella story of a girl who can just wake up in another time as a different person with a handsome man in a time where they, you know, dance and drink all day long. But then you see the other half of the movie like, oh, it's a thriller. It's an actual thriller at the end. And Anya Taylor-Joy, what a baddie.
I think she's our new It Girl.
A baddie. What a baddie.
That's interesting. I like her as our new It Girl.
I liked her ever since The Witch. I thought like, what a interesting looking girl. I was like, wow, she looks like an alien, but like in a attractive way. Yeah. You know?
And then we saw her.
I mean
in
that
everything.
in the nicest way. I don't mean that mean at all. It's just like, you know, her features aren't.
That's a compliment in Hollywood.
Like for example, Matt Smith in the movie isn't what I would consider traditionally handsome, or Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, I don't think he's traditionally handsome.
I think when artists say you look like an alien, that's a compliment.
That's a compliment. Like we're talking about your proportions. Sorry, it's not like it's not a bad thing. I promise. It's just what we see. Sorry, it's like how our brains work.
Strange beauty. I like.
Strange beauty. I like. So tired of the perfect, you know, golden ratio. But then we saw who's behind this, and it's written, directed, and produced by Edgar Wright, who is one of our favorite directors of all time. Yeah, like anybody who's anybody who loves art appreciates what Edgar Wright has done. Yeah, something he's done, anything he's done. From Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead. Well, you don't like Scott Pilgrim. You don't like the source material. Yeah, I think he did great. Edgar Wright did great.
The movie is fine. Property is all right, but I love Edgar Wright. Was like, I went through a lot of phases with a lot of directors. I think before I learned about a lot of the directors I know today.
Who is your favorite director right now? You know, I know the answer.
I forget. What's his name? PTA.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe I was about to say PSA.
Yes. So I assume your thing is PTA, David Fincher, Edgar Wright? Somewhere there.
I would say fourth. Like PTA and then like Kurosawa.
Oh, right.
Like, you know.
I meant living directors though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Villeneuve was up there for a while.
Villeneuve is really good when he's not doing sci-fi.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think when he's doing like Prisoners or Sicario, where it's like grounded. Yeah. He makes it like visually.
Where it gets really like artful and heady and like. Okay.
I want to go home.
And I don't know where Ari Aster.
Ari Aster. I don't know. One more movie, because I didn't really like Midsommar. Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. I adore Hereditary though. So Edgar Wright, fantastic director.
Yeah, he was my favorite director when I was just getting into films, which was late. But I watched like Hot Fuzz. I watched Shaun of the Dead. And then
we saw what did we see in theaters?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I saw the movie before that. What was it?
Oh, it's the one where they're in the pub and at World's End, I think.
Yeah. I really like that one too.
Yeah.
And so
a lot of them take place at a pub.
Yeah, they like all take place.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever said.
We haven't seen a movie from him in a while.
Since Baby Driver. Yeah. It's been a while.
So when I saw this was Edgar Wright's next movie, I was like, oh my god.
Yes!
It's like everything that I wanted. It's like a mystery thriller, but it has like the fashion and the Anya Taylor-Joy. Like I remember telling you, because I was complaining about a lot of the movies in the past year or two that like the teenage girl is not going to watch. Like the young version of me would not watch any of this. And then
what do you mean? Would not want to watch like Matrix? Would not want to watch that type? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were like
they wouldn't want to watch Dune. That type of thing.
Yeah. And like they're trying.
They would want to watch Dune. Sorry, excuse me for the Chalamet. The Chalamet.
I don't know if he's that popular with the young girls.
What? I thought he's like. I feel like Chalamet is like the it boy.
I think Hollywood is trying to make him the it boy. I don't know if
it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, because.
What do you think about Timothée Chalamet? I think he's all right. I think he's all right. I'm excited for his future. Wow, you're so mean.
Who I think is the next it boy is probably that ginger kid.
He's not ginger, dude.
What?
The weird looking kid, you mean?
The one that was in like that one Ben Affleck movie.
Ben Affleck. Oh, the new Matt Damon.
Yes.
Yeah. I like him. He was in Lady Bird. I like him too.
He's really good.
There's a lot of really cool young so like it's kind of cool being at this age where like when you were young, you would always look up to actors, but now that you're older, you're looking at younger actors going like, oh man, I can't wait to see you in like an action movie and all that stuff. So one of my favorite actors is that funny looking little guy. I'm not sure if he's old or young
because he looks old but he's short, so I'm not sure.
So the first movie I saw him in was Dunkirk, and he's in this movie called Killing of the Sacred Deer or something like that, and then he was in The Green Knight. And like I always think he's a fantastic actor, and he just does the best stuff. He's so awesome. There's another young actor, Miles.
What's his name?
What?
There's Whiplash.
He's all right. I'm not sure if he's gonna make a comeback.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, he's all right.
But I have high hopes for that ginger kid. I wish I remembered his name.
We'll put him here too. Let's keep talking about this. This is interesting. Like, there's another young actor I really like, and then I always really appreciate when he's in a movie. What do you think of Zendaya though?
She's fine.
I think she's fine.
Yeah,
I think she's fine.
Great. But I like Anya. I really like Anya. I think she has like the features that are really good on camera, but she also is like pretty good at acting.
Anya?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like ever since like The Witch, I was like, this girl is gonna be in a ton of movies.
She was like the best part of other than McAvoy, in that Shamalama movie.
Oh, in Split.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was like the best part of it.
She was great in Split. I hated that movie. God. But like she made that movie like palatable at least.
Yeah.
Darn it. Just give me 1 second. I need to think which young actor I'm talking about. Shoot.
But because Last Night in Soho, it has Anya, it has like the fashion, and it has like the 60s. I called it. I don't remember if I said it on camera or not.
You said something.
But I said that like, you know, we've done the 80s, we've done the 90s, we're doing 2000s right now for some reason, but I think the 60s are next.
You know,
I'm pretty sure they're next.
Who my favorite young actor is?
Who is it?
It's the kid from God of War. Fodder!
Oh yeah.
Fodder! Watch out, Fodder!
He's really good.
He's fantastic. In mid-90s, he's so good. And then he's in the new God of War the trailer that just
Yeah.
came out. He's like the new Sean Penn. He already looks like Sean Penn. like I will be as old as Sean Penn to watch him grow up to look exactly like young Sean Penn. It'll be great. But he's great. He's so good.
I like him because when I see really talented child actors, it's a little freaky. I don't know if anyone other than people who have like been brought up in LA understand this.
It's like they're older and wiser beyond their years.
And it's
scary.
weird, yeah.
Like I recently was fortunate enough to hang out with like a big, kind of like a CW level star. I hope this person doesn't watch this podcast. Jesus Christ. I hope he doesn't listen. But I hung out with a CW level star, and he's very bright.
Yes.
He's the brightest person I think I've ever met. Like he's as old as like he's 21, as old as my brother, but he's like the smartest. Like he's like, I was like talking. I felt like I was talking to an old man.
Yeah, an adult.
Yeah, like 10 million times more adult than I could ever dream to be.
And when you see that in a child, like when you meet like other people, you can tell like when someone's really well spoken or really just good at people skills or whatever. That's fine. But when you see a child do that and they're like talking to you like you're equals, it's really strange.
It's disturbing.
And I remember thinking that when I saw, I think it was like the making of documentary or something for the first God of War, and he just like turn it on and then turn it off, and I think he had to like scream or cry or something,
and he was like giggling and smiling.
And then he was like,
how's that?
And then they're like, it was amazing. And then he, like, I think we had just watched like mid-90s, and then we like started looking online for like clips of something, I guess interviews or something, and then we like stumbled upon a random YouTube video where he's being interviewed and he's like just skating.
Oh yeah, so I assume after mid-90s, I'm not sure if he's always been skating, but the kid loves to skate.
Yeah,
it's
very
cool.
LA.
Yeah,
he gives me LA kid vibes.
Yeah.
And
that LA wise, like LA wise, it's something that people will never like admit that exists, but like the wisdom of some of the people here who are like, they've seen some shit. Yeah. They've witnessed some shit.
There's a reason why we're really chill.
Yeah.
And just like
we kind of put our hands up in the air and go Hakuna Matata,
whatever.
Whatever.
And for him, it already seemed like he was like, Hollywood's overrated. I just want to make my merch business.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I really like this kid. He has a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
It's rare also to see actors / child actors be so down to earth about like it's just a job.
Yeah, man.
And then I have my life outside of that. And
clearly he, like, you could see how much he enjoys the skating thing. It like brings him tons of joy.
And it wasn't he was going around being like, I don't know his name. I am so and so.
Yeah, taking selfies with other people.
Look at me. He's just like hanging out with everyone at the skate park. And so I was like, oh, he's definitely one to like keep an eye on. As he gets
I look
older.
forward to his career as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you like this episode,
sorry, what my favorite actor? Who's your favorite actor who's come out in the past 10 years? I think it's Adam Driver for me. I like Adam Driver a lot. I think he acts great. He's a true like thespian, that fucking guy.
There's so many. They're not like typically celebrated too.
Yeah.
Like
Riz Ahmed?
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed, I mean? Yeah, he's great. I think he just got started.
Yeah.
That's why like in my opinion, he's like one of the greatest actors we have right now. It's just like he hasn't like he's like it feels like he's not like a household name yet, but like he's on his way.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see him in more movies, man. He's so cool.
Like the first time we saw Anya, I was like, wow, this girl's she better be in more movies. There occasionally I think that, but like again, they're not like names that you remember off the top of your head.
But you keep like a mental note.
Like every time I see them, it's always a joy to see them.
Yeah,
in a movie.
Sweet, you're like a side character. Dope.
Yeah. But man, they're gonna have their day.
One day.
If you like this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, check out these other episodes over here to binge all our other episodes, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.